Welcome to our Clinked quarterly feature release webinar. We're so happy that you all can join. As I mentioned, this is a slightly different format than we've done in the past, and so I just want to give you a couple tips, protocols, I guess, to be able to say from a webinar perspective. Today we'll launch in a moment, so I'll introduce myself as well as the other colleagues who are here today. Few things: if you have any questions throughout our entire presentation, you can pop those into the Q&A section, which you can find on your screen. In addition, if you have, and you will have seen this actually, there's a chat message that's just come up from our colleague Candace, who's on the team. Candace will be managing the chat side of things, so you'll see different communications coming through there for you to be able to get some additional knowledge shared during the session. And in addition, we also do have polls this time, which is exciting. So we're looking forward to getting your feedback live to be able to incorporate into our webinar today. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more interactive as well. So with that, let's go into the meat of our presentation today. So who are you working with today, or who are you talking to today? So you are talking with myself, Sarah Broderick, and we're also joined by my team member, Hannah. Also on the chat, as I mentioned before in the Q&A board, is our team member, Candace. So you'll see some messages from her coming across throughout the session. And today we are going to be going through an agenda of our top feature releases in 2020. What that incorporates is going over some of the top feature releases that have happened throughout the year, those of which are on our group home side of things with widgets, some key features within tasks, our mobile side of things, and also one of our biggest releases that happened later on this year, which is the subgroup side of things. Lastly, we'll go through some resources as well. This is a lot of the session today is about making sure that you know what these features are, but we also want to make sure that we highlight our resources, which are all there for you to self-serve, for you to be able to gain information for yourself, and also for you to be able to contact our support team, or if you find any areas that you want to be able to participate on in regards to feature requests, we'll highlight that as well. Lastly, after we're done going through the top feature releases, we will have that Q&A session. As I mentioned before, there is a Q&A board within this Zoom webinar. You can put your questions in there as they come up, and when we get to the end of the session, we will ask different individuals to either unmute themselves, or we can directly answer your questions during that session. So with that, let's go into the first topic area, which is group homes. Oh, actually, sorry, before we do that, I have a polling question for you. So what I'd like to know is, or what we would like to know is, what brought you to this webinar today? You'll see a pop-up, a poll question that's going to come up on your side. There are 4 choices there. We just want to understand, are you looking for general updates from Clinked, the top feature releases, which we've advertised for this session, a knowledge share, or additional training? If you can just answer as many that apply for you and then hit submit, we would appreciate it. As those questions or those answers are coming in, I'll say that I'm really interested to see how this polling side of things works. It's something we've just started to incorporate. So hopefully you all are participating and putting things in there. So now I have the results. You can probably see it on your screen. So 71%, and I know these are multiple choice, but 71% of you are coming in for the actual topics. So those are the top feature releases. In addition to that, some additional training likely on those topics, and we'll be able to cover that throughout each component as we go through these, also from the knowledge sharing side of things too. So really excited to get the ball rolling there. So as I said before, we're going to start off with the group home widgets. With that, I want to go through a few things. So first off is, what are widgets? Within Clinked, we call widgets the boxes that you will find in your group home. And these can be on your group home. Also, if any of you are account admins or you're in multiple groups, there is also the dashboard area for members. So for members who are parts of multiple groups or account admins, you'll have access into that dashboard area. It's similar to the standard group area or the group home area. Account admins, you can also use widgets there if you want to be able to customize what data people are seeing when they log into that dashboard. But we're going to be talking about the group home widgets at this point in time. As I mentioned before, all of you as Clinked members, you know how groups work. So when you set up a group for the first time, you actually do get standard out of the box these different boxes that are here. all of these are what we call widgets. These widgets can all be edited. All these widgets are actually views into other pieces of content that are within that group. So as an example, we'll start with the welcome note. That is a widget into what is called the welcome note, which every single group will have the welcome note. This itself can be repositioned anywhere on the group home, just by coming into edit widget. And we'll go through that in a few moments. But all of these widgets you see here can be changed at any point in time by a group admin or an account admin. So just so you know, you can customize this area. This actually does have to go, or this goes into some of the conversations we were talking about in November and December during our sessions, our client webinar sessions, really around designing a digital client experience, and then also about using communication tools within Clinked. The group home and the widgets themselves specifically are an opportunity for you to be able to design what the experience is for that group itself and the members of that group. So hopefully this conversation and this feature specifically will be able to help you deliver that digital client experience. So let's go into the group home widget specifically. Within that, this is an example of a group home that has already been customized with widgets of content that is within this group. So as an example, you can see the welcome note, which is here, has been customized to be able to help Peak Compliance, who is the account owner. So this would be your branding up here. And then in the group itself, this group has been utilized for compliance purposes. So the client is actually using this for compliant purposes. So Peak Compliance is working with Webster Properties and using this as a way to be able to, the welcome note, to be able to communicate what the expectations are of the processes here. In addition, other widgets that have been added, there's a note here. This note has actually been embedded with a video. In addition, you have another note widget, which is here. So this is the form. In this case, an iframe has been utilized within the note itself to be able to actually bring in a form that's been developed in an outside form builder. In addition to that, there is an announcement widget, which is up here. So if you want to have an account-wide announcement, you can actually set that up to go across all of your groups, or you can have a group-specific widget added in there as well. You also can utilize the task area. So this is a task category, and it's viewing the tasks that are open within that category for this group. Lastly, one thing I wanted to note is, again, this zoom right here, this is actually a note widget as well. So that's the note that sits in here. In this one, an iframe has been utilized to actually be able to provide access into a way for people to join a specific Zoom meeting that has been set up for this group itself for people to be able to join up. Now, a couple things for us to be able to talk through on that is to make sure that you have some options here to be able to change. So with that, first off, if we were to hit the edit widgets, that opens up this plus add widget, and it also has the drop down. If you hit the drop down, this is where you're going to be able to actually customize the layout. So that's going to be, you have multiple options. What you're seeing on the screen right here is actually the third option. So it's 2/3, 1/3. So that means 2/3 of the screen will show the widgets that are set up on the left, and 1/3 will be on the right. You can flip that around or do different layouts. So the first of which is full screen. So that's where the layouts go all the way across. You have a 50-50, so half and half, the 2/3, 1/3, 1/3, 2/3, or 3/3, third. So you can change that at any point in time just by hitting the drop down here and selecting that. Now, if you hit the add widgets, this is where you actually are able to choose the widgets you want to be able to come up. So if you hit that, it will actually create this view that will come up, and then you select what type of widget it is you want to be able to add to the group home. In doing that, if you wanted to show a specific note, just a bit of a note, or a bit of a point on that, you do want to make sure that you add the note first. So you have to create the content first before you can actually view it inside of a widget or designate that widget to be there. So point of reference for you when you're actually creating this. Few things that you can do. So the welcome note is one of the things that will always be up there. But if you ever want to remove it and add it back, this is how you would add it back. You can add specific notes, specific discussions, specific task categories, specific task summaries, also discussions and things of that nature. There's a handful of different options that you can do here to be able to customize the group home as you'd like to be able to do that. Now, one of the things that we've had asked is when you actually create those group home widgets in the portal itself, will those carry over into the mobile app? So with that, we were able to actually create, we took your feedback and we were able to create it so that our mobile app now also does show those widgets that are created on the group home. So if you were to say have a group that looks like this is another peak compliance group. And it is a different group here. So when you set up all of these different widgets that are here, you will actually be able to see those in the mobile application. In the past, it was actually set up where only the group home would be shown. And so based upon your feedback, we have actually made it possible to be able to view the additional widgets that are here. One thing to note is that the information that's shown in the first column will always be shown first. And then if there's a second column, that information will be shown underneath what's in the first column. That's really just because of the layout of mobile. So what does that look like? If you can see here on the right, this is actually a view of what this home note, or sorry, this group home will actually look like in the mobile application. So you can see the group home notes here, the videos here. The video can actually be played directly from the mobile application, and then you can see the announcement. Everything else here on the right would actually be below the screen. Apologies, this is a screenshot, so I'm not going to be able to move the screen for you. So that is an overview of the feature releases that we've done within the group home side of things with widgets at both the portal side. So those are the changes that you can make inside of the portal using your web browser, and then also how that carries over into the mobile application. Next up, we're going to go into tasks. So with tasks, we had a few asks. This is an area or a feature area that's become more and more popular across our client base. And so therefore, we've been getting feedback from our clients and maybe some of you actually who are listening at the moment to be able to add some additional functionality. The first of which was actually copying tasks between groups. So what that means is if you are in a group, in this case, we are inside of the account, which is Buttx clients, inside of a group, which is called Willow Bend. When you navigate into tasks, if this is one of the features that you have available for that group, you are then able to actually come in, select one or multiple tasks. So you would just, if you're on a Mac, you would click onto one, then hit Command and click the other ones. And then you'll actually have these options that are going to come up. So you have the options here to be able to copy. If you were to hit copy and then navigate to another group, in this case, Fund 1, you'll see that you'll be able to paste the 3 tasks right there. Once they're in there, you'll be able to move them across the categories if you have categories in this group, and then you'll be able to assign who the owner is and then what the due date is. Just to be able to flag for all of you, when you do copy tasks into another group, if the owner of the task in the other group is not a member here, then you will need to reassign the owners to the appropriate group members. So hopefully that helps. In addition to that, one of the other asks that we had was to be able to copy categories between groups. In that case, what that means is same thing as before. In this case, we're going to go to Fund 1. We come down to tasks, and instead of selecting the individual category or individual tasks, instead we come to the category. In this case, Q3 2020 client reporting. Now, mind you, I know that that's a little bit old since we are in Q1 2021, but let's just say you want to do that as a new category or the same category, but you might want to change the name later and you want to copy all the tasks. What you do, you come to the category, and on the right-hand side, you can see here there's 3 dots that are in a row. Click on that, and you'll get this window that will pop up. If you hit copy and then navigate to the other group, let's say Willow Bend Investments, you'll see the same thing as before where it said paste, but instead it will say paste category. The whole category, including the tasks in that category will actually come in and be pasted. Again, you'll need to be able to assign the owner and then set the due dates within that. So with that, that is what we wanted to cover on the task side, and I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Hannah to be able to walk through the mobile side.
Yeah, so I'm just going to talk you through our mobile releases. So thanks to the feedback from Clinked users last year, we updated our mobile application with 3 new functions. So these were multiple file uploads, large video uploads, and to be able to access files offline from your mobile. So now all the users who use the mobile app will find that they can upload multiple files at once, and they can upload a large video file from their mobile and access files offline on the go. So it's worked quite nicely for working remotely. So you can see here the process for uploading a large video. So here we've chosen to upload a 40 push-ups team challenge video. As at Clink, we do like to have a team challenge on a Friday. So here we're just using the example of uploading a large video file with 40 push-ups. And how you would do that is firstly, you just need to navigate to your Clinked app on your mobile and then just go to the group where you want to upload the files to. And then select the folders icon and navigate to the folder where you'd like to upload the files. And to add the files, you can see there's that green plus button. So you just need to select that and then choose to upload files. And this is where you can upload more than one file. So you could select multiple images. If you needed to do that, you just do that from there. And then you can see it will upload. And then you'll be able to access them from that group there. So you can see all the files there. And you can also access them offline. And how you do that is just by swiping left on the particular file and selecting offline. So now we're just going to take a look at the mobile messaging side of things. So last year we added a messages area to our mobile app, and this works well for working remotely. So you can have quick messages that have become an easy way to communicate in real time with clients, teams, and members or external parties. You can access the chat feature on your mobile, and you just need to navigate to the menu. So you can see there we've got the bullets, clients, navy blue menu. So you just need to get that up on your mobile app and then select the messages option. And you will then see a list of your existing group chats and one-on-one chats, as we got pictured there. And then you can select an individual member or in the group to add to the existing chat. So you'll see all the existing chat in there, and then you can communicate and add to the chat via your mobile. But if you did want to create a new chat from scratch, you can do that by selecting the green plus button. And then that will give you the option to create a new chat, either one-on-one or for the whole group. So subgroups are a recent feature release from Clinked. So the subgroups feature has been designed for content sharing purposes. So the idea behind this one was that you can share content easily from tools such as files, notes, discussions across multiple groups. So I'll just give you some potential uses for how you might want to use subgroups. So it can be really good if you needed to share a file across multiple groups, or if you wanted to make changes to a note that would be updated across multiple groups at once. And that's something you can use subgroups for. Or if you wanted an event to be carried across all your subgroups. For instance, if you had a client-wide meeting and you wanted that to be carried across all of your groups, subgroups would work nicely to do that. So where to find subgroups? So to find subgroups, you just need to go into your group and navigate to your group settings. And then this is sort of how you would set one up. So you can see there we've got the group, so you just type in your subgroup name and then select the checkbox for this is the subgroup of, and then use the click to select blue text button to be navigated to a window showing all the groups available to choose as a main group. So this is the window that it will bring up. It will bring up all your groups, so you just need to decide which one is going to be the main group. So say it's Fund 1, you could come in and select that as your main group, and the subgroup that you've just created will appear below that. And then once you've created the subgroup, when you go into the main group, you'll be able to see a subgroup list, and this will show all your groups within the subgroup. There are also additional settings for subgroups, so you can alter these by selecting that cog button next to the click to select button, and this will bring up the additional settings. So the group tools section here controls how to enable content sharing and control the content changes. So you can see here we've got that enabled column where here they've decided to have everything enabled. So you need to check this box for each content type. So we've got files, folders, notes, discussions, events or tasks. So you need to select whichever one you'd like to share from the main group to the subgroup. So if you want to carry all of them down, just come in here and make sure that they're all enabled. And then we've got the changes column just to the right of that. So here you can choose when content is added to the main group and how it will be changed within the subgroup. So there are different choices here depending on the content type. So you just need to come in here and review that before you decide. So you've got different options. So here we've got the create, update and delete. There are about 4 or 5 options, which can be quite handy to tailor that. So I'm just going to give you an example of what I mean by that. So here we've got bullocks and they just want files, notes and discussions to be carried down to the subgroups, but they want events and tasks to be kept to the main group only and not carried down. So they've just come in here and deticked events and tasks. So that's how that's set up. And they also do not want files deleted in the main group to be deleted in the subgroups. So you can see here they've altered this accordingly by selecting the drop down and selected create an update. So the delete function won't happen between the main and the subgroup. Yeah, so you've got about 4 different options there. So if you didn't want it to be updated or you didn't want it to be deleted, this is where you would go to alter that. So we're just going to have a quick questionnaire now. So which of these features are you using today? So group home widgets, copying tasks and categories, mobile uploads, mobile chat or subgroups. So it'd be great if you could fill out our poll to see which ones that you're currently using. That would be really great.
It's really helpful for us to be able to know what you're already using prior to us having the session today. I know we've done quite a lot from a webinar perspective and a knowledge sharing perspective as of late. So we're curious to see, or I guess I should say in 2020 specifically, we're curious to see how many of you have already started adopting the features that we're highlighting today. Oh, great. Okay. So we've got the polling results. We have 80% of you have said that you've started to use the home widgets, which is great. Hopefully you're getting a lot of impact out of that. That is a nice confirmation of some of the other programs that we've done in the past. In addition, it looks like mobile chat has been very handy. I think that's been very handy for us as a team within Clinked as well. We actually do use Clinked internally for managing our team and working well together. And so the mobile chat's been very handy. In addition to that, interesting that copying tasks and categories has been good as well. In subgroups, it looks like has started to be something some of you are looking at. But with that, I think it would be good to understand if now that you've seen all of this, which features you will start using after this webinar. So with that, if you could answer that question for us by doing exactly as Hannah had said before, just fill in which ones are appropriate for you, which ones you plan on using after this webinar now that we've gone through it and you've learned a bit more about them. Great. So it looks like copying tasks and category is a big winner there. It looks like the mobile side will continue to be something that people are taking advantage of. And it looks like we've had a bit of an uptick on the subgroups as well. It's a very interesting feature. I think there's a lot of content to actually be reviewed as well in our Help and Learning Center. And so with that, I think I'll hand it back over to Hannah to take you through our various resources so you'll know where to find that information if you want to be able to start testing that and seeing if it's the right fit for you. So, Hannah, over to you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take you through our resources section for those that you don't know. So firstly, we've got our help in Clinked, which can be accessed directly from your portal. So you just need to navigate to where your name is and then go to the drop down and then select help, and that will take you to our Help and Learning Centre. Alternatively, you could access our Help and Learning Centre directly from our website. So you just need to go to clinked.com and then go to resources and then select the Help and Learning Centre. You can type in articles that you may need help with. We've got some seminars on there as well. So that's quite useful if you have a particular topic that you would like to look up. And we have our webinar recordings on our YouTube channel. So you just need to go to YouTube and type in clinked.com, and it's on a website as well. But we've got all our recent webinars and video tutorials on there as well. And we do have support. So at the moment, you've got myself and my colleague Anna on the support side of things. So if you have any technical issues or any just general questions you would like to ask, please do email us at support@clinked.com. So now we're just going to have a quick question and answer session. So I think Candice is monitoring that side of things. So Candice, do we have any questions at the moment?
Yes, hi Anna, and hi everyone. We actually have a few questions that came in already. So please don't be shy and make sure you can send them across. You can send them in the chat, in the Q&A, or you can also alternatively raise your hand and I will unmute you so you can ask them live to Sarah and Hannah. We have a question from Deborah actually, who is asking, is there or will there be information sheets or articles on the new features?
Hannah, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I can do. So basically what happens is every time we have a new feature release, we tend to do a blog on it. So it'll be a summary of the new feature and how you would use it. And then we do tend to do a help centre article on it as well. But yeah, if we have any new features, you'll firstly see it as a blog, and that will go out on our social media channels for you to see.
It will also be announced on the monthly newsletter that goes out to all of our clients. So pay attention for that. That usually comes out at the middle of each month. However, the one place to always go to in case you haven't seen it is just our Help and Learning Center or the help within clinked.com or help within your Clinked. Some of you might actually turn off the help functionality inside of your Clinked account. And that's the reason why we've actually created on clinked.com the Help and Learning Center. If you've turned off help, you will not see it inside of your portal itself. So always just come to clinked.com, go to the Help and Learning Center, and in that top section where it's a search, if you just type in, say, subgroups, you'll actually be navigated into our help section and see all those articles. So Deborah, on that side of things, the Help Center is going to be the place that you want to go to be able to see the full details and the outline as to what's going on there. But you will get alerts about it as well on the newsletter, social media, as Hannah has said, and we'll do webinars as well to be able to give more information and give an overview as to how to do things as well. So multiple channels there.
Thank you both for your input, and Deborah, hopefully that will help answer your question. We are running close to the time, so maybe we have just one last question for Hannah and Sarah. We have Chris, who is asking if he will get notification when he sends a chat on the mobile app.
Yeah, so if you have chats on mobile, you will get notifications coming across for that. And if you say you were to message on the mobile, it will come across on your portal and vice versa. So the two are sort of connected, and it will be bolded, and you will get a notification for your chats. I think that was just a question from Deborah. Are there information articles already for the new releases? Yeah, so we do have, these were sort of ones that were released last year, so we do have blogs and article on these. But yeah, if you need help finding them, I can email them across to you, Deborah.
All right, thank you both.
Great. Okay, well, with that, we'll close our questions and answers. If anyone has any additional questions, you can always email us at support@clinked.com, and we'll be able to help you. When you do actually send in any request to our team or asking for clarification on things, we always ask that you can provide as much details as possible. Screenshots, videos, things of that nature always helps us be able to understand what your question is, or how we can help you best. So that's the only thing we ask when you do email us at support@clinked.com. So with that, I'd just like to say thank you so much from all of us at Clinked for joining us today, also for being our clients. We really do depend upon you, our clients, to continuously make Clinked the product that is best fit for you to be able to work with your clients, your teams, as well as your partners. So thank you to all of you. We look forward to sharing this webinar a bit later, and then also to your joining our future sessions. So thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day.